We need to have an adult discussion about Christopher Nkunku. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Before we carry on with this video, I want to categorically state that I love Christopher Nkunku. I think he's a top player. I mean, you've only got to look at his last season in the Bundesliga to identify that. 25 games, 16 goals, 4 assists. That just shows the level of talent this boy has. But there is starting to be little qualms and rumours that he is unhappy in the dressing room, and there has been little reports stating that Manchester United have inquired about Christopher Nkunku. So as reported in Sky Sports Paper Talk, Manchester United have reportedly inquired about Chelsea forward Christopher Nkunku, but that was quickly squashed by Fabrizio Romano himself. He said Chelsea are not interested in entertaining talks with Manchester United or anyone for Nkunku. And then he went on to say Nkunku is an important player for Chelsea. He's only playing in the Conference League at the moment, not much in the Premier League, but Chelsea know the second half of the season will be different. There will be many games, many opportunities for Nkunku to play. Now, before we get into the Christopher Nkunku debate, it's important to understand he wasn't part of Todd Beeley's signing. As it states here, no, Todd Beeley was not involved in the signing of Christopher Nkunku. They were not mentioned in Chelsea's statement when announcing the signing. However, some believe they did have a part to play in the signing. I'm of the opposite. I think they had a say right at the end, but to get the initial talks and the initial negotiations going, I don't believe they were part of it. Then we had Ben Jacob speak out about this, and I don't take everything Ben Jacob says about Chelsea seriously because he is the ultimate PR for the club. But he went on to say, Nkunku, you would expect to start games over the festive period. I'm not aware he's asked to leave. I'm not aware he's unhappy. And it's certainly not true, to my understanding, that Manchester United made any kind of inquiry. That last part I do believe. I don't believe Manchester United at this stage of just recently recruiting a new manager have made an inquiry about Christopher Nkunku. However, I don't agree with them not being happy because I fully expect Christopher Nkunku not to be happy. Placing that Premier League start is not there. So naturally, when you're a top player like Christopher Nkunku, you want to be starting week in, week out in the biggest games. And in fact, I would actually be more worried if he wasn't unhappy. So I fully expect Christopher Nkunku to be happy, but that doesn't mean Christopher Nkunku wants to leave. He's just unhappy with the situation at the moment. But I do think he's the sorry state of ownership that didn't know what direction we're going to go in, and partially of not having a sporting director. Now, the importance of a sporting director in this day and age in football is massive. Not only do they set out the structure of the whole club, but also set out the structure of the squad. And if you do need to change manager, you can still bring in the profile of manager that fits the style of play you want to play. Brighton are the perfect example. Look at Man United. Their recruitment of managers and players has been an absolute mess all over the place. Different profiles and partnerships of players coming in and not building any chemistry. That is the perfect example of a failed sporting director. And I kind of think Christopher Nkunku, no fault of his own, it's become the sorry state of, I kind of feel like he doesn't exactly fit Enzo Maresca's system, but he's got quality, so why would we get rid of him straight away? Because if he can show that ability to adapt. But at the minute, Nicholas Jackson is a perfect example of what Enzo Maresca wants in a striker, so it's incredibly difficult for Christopher Nkunku to come in ahead of him. Enzo Maresca himself said Christopher Nkunku is not a number 9, is more of a number 10. Cole Palmer plays as a number 10. So does he realistically replace Cole Palmer? Absolutely not. And don't even talk to me about Christopher Nkunku out in the wing, because that boy is not a winger. Realistically, it's incredibly difficult for Christopher Nkunku to come into this side. But I do believe he's got his part to play this season. Every single player will have their part to play when The games are looking lost and we need to bring somebody on and make an impact like we're seeing at Bournemouth. Christopher Nkunku could do that over the Christmas period, and we need Nicholas Jackson arrest and Christopher Nkunku to come in and just make a difference in that one occasion. He can absolutely do that because his technical ability, his footballing ability, there's no question about it. I've got no doubt there's going to be moments where he produces an assist or finds a goal to win us games or pick us some points up. But the situation, I don't think it's in his hands. And I think this link to Manchester United is more of a PR move to try and get more game time. I think it's more of an agent thing, just spreading rumours rather than Manchester United actually inquiring about him. Because when you think about it, he doesn't even fit an Amorim system. If you're looking to play Christopher Nkunku as a striker in an Amorim system, it doesn't work. He doesn't have that profile. It's quite similar to Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca wants him to run the channels like Nicholas Jackson does. Wants him to be physical, able to hold the ball up and link up play. That's not Christopher Nkunku's game. Christopher Nkunku likes to find pockets of space, receive the ball on the half turn and link up that way. Got too many players that find the pockets of space, so that bringing another one just messes up the whole dimension of our attacks. Now, you can get away with it in the Conference League. Naturally, we're better quality football players, so naturally we're going to stand out more and we're going to win games just based off pure quality. But when you're playing the likes of Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool, you can't stop Christopher Nkunku in an Enzo Maresca system. The only way you can do that is if you move Cole Palmer out to the right and play Christopher Nkunku as a number 10. But I don't think Enzo Maresca wants to do that. I think he likes having Cole Palmer centrally. There's an argument to say since he's moved centrally and since we're relying on Malo Gusto to be the creative in that number 10 role, creativity has went down. There's no argument to deny that because it's clear to see. So whether you think Christopher Nkunku was a Todd Beeley signing or not, that's not the question. Because nobody foreseen that Enzo Maresca was going to come in and play this system. But this is why the importance of a sporting director, as soon as he walked in the door, they should have a sporting director ready with a clear plan on how to move us forward. Because that would have mean the recruitment would have been a lot better. It's a shame because Christopher Nkunku has got unbelievable talent. And to see him not showcasing that on a weekly basis, it does hurt. It didn't help when he first come in. He picked up an injury and missed nearly the whole season. And it's a shame that we didn't see the best of Christopher Nkunku last season because I think he would have put on a different level. He has been pretty unlucky during his Chelsea career. There's no denying that. So it just goes to show Christopher Nkunku is a sorry state of affairs of a scattergun approach. This is why I say, look, Enzo Maresca is doing a fantastic job. And I hope he's here for years and years and years and years and is successful. However, we should already be planning for Enzo Maresca's successor. Now that we're starting to bring in the players to suit Enzo Maresca's system, and now that we're starting to build that identity of what type of football, what type of club we're going to be, we should already be planning for future. Feeling prepared is preparing to fail. That's the exact motto Chelsea should die on. Yeah, I want to know your thoughts. I think Christopher Nkunku could possibly leave next summer. Can't even deny it. I think there's a strong possibility he does. And like I say, I've got no doubt he's going to play his part in this season. But just playing your part for a player of his talent, is that enough? It's sad because I really rate Christopher Nkunku. But I want to know your thoughts. Do you think he'll have a future at Chelsea? Where do you see him fitting in this Enzo Maresca system? How do you see it planning out? Because just think, we've got Estevao coming, Kendrick Paez coming. We've got players coming in the door that are better suited to this system. It's going to be interesting. He's happy at the moment. He's not happy at the moment. But I've got no doubt there's no chance of him leaving in January. If there's any chance of him leaving, it's next summer. But once again, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out another episode. And yeah, International Week, hurry the fuck up.